you ever had a delivery go really wrong? Buckle up, because this night is one I'll never forget. A few years ago, when I was a broke college student, I worked part-time at a pizza place. One stormy Wednesday night, while working the late shift, the phone rang. Rain poured down, and thunder rumbled. I answered, expecting a regular order. "Hello?" I said, wiping my hands on my apron.
"Hey, I need 2 large pepperoni pizza at 1123 Willow Lane. Please hurry."
A shaky voice replied. Willow Lane. I had never heard of it. "Okay, I'll be right there," I said, feeling nervous. I wrote down the address, hoping it wasn't too far. As I drove through the rain, the streets became quieter. My GPS struggled and trees seemed to close in around me. Finally, I saw an old broken sign marking Willow Lane. The road was narrow and overgrown, branches reaching out like skeleton hands. I pulled up to a rundown house that looked abandoned. The windows were boarded up and the porch creaked. I knocked on the door. After a long pause, it opened, revealing a strange man with wild hair.
"Come in,"
he whispered. I hesitated but stepped inside. The air was cold and smelled musty. "Your pizzas?"
"Thanks,
he murmured, glancing nervously at the dark hallway.
but you shouldn't have come here."
"Why not?" I asked.
"They are coming,"
He replied.
"You need to leave now!"
A loud crash came from the back of the house. The man's fear was clear. "They're here," he shouted. The lights flickered out. Freezing cold surrounded me. I heard movement in the shadows. My breath caught, and my heart raced.
"Get out!"
I yelled. I ran for the door. Something dark jumped at me. I barely dodged it, feeling icy fingers brush my arm. I ran into the rainy night. In my car, I tried to start the engine, but it sputtered and died. Panic surged as I looked in the rearview mirror. The man from the house ran toward me, his face twisted in terror. Behind him, dark shapes appeared from the shadows. I called my friend Jake. "Help! I'm at Willow Lane, and something's wrong," I shouted. The phone rang and rang, but Jake didn't pick up. I left my car and ran down the empty road. After what felt like forever, I reached a main road. A truck approached, and I waved frantically. The truck stopped. The driver, a big man, rolled down the window.
"Do you need a lift?"
He asked. "Yes, please. I need to get out of here," I panted. The driver nodded and let me in. As the truck drove away, I looked back one last time at the dark lane, feeling scared. I finally got home, still shaken. I locked every door and window, but I couldn't sleep. Every noise sent chills down my spine. The memory of the man and the dark shapes haunted me. The next day, locals told me the house had been empty for years after a family was murdered. People said anyone who went near heard strange noises, especially on stormy nights. I found out the delivery call had come from an old, disconnected number. No one had lived on Willow Lane for decades. Now, every stormy night, I find myself staring at the phone, scared of another call that might pull me back into that nightmare. The answers stayed hidden, a haunting reminder of the last delivery I couldn't forget. After that night, I couldn't work late shifts anymore. The memory haunted me, and I knew I'd never feel calm working those hours again. If you like this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have you ever had a delivery go wrong? Share your stories in the comments below.